Whether you do the bro split, push-pull legs, upper-lower, or full body, everyone believes their split is the best. But instead of opinions, today we're doing something different. We're using actual science to answer one simple question: what is the best gym split for building muscle? By the end of this video, I'm going to rank the most popular gym splits from worst to best, explain why they work or don't work, and show you which one consistently produces the most muscle growth for most people. Make sure you stay till the end to know why your current gym split is not as good as the best gym split I'm going to give you. Let's get into it. Before we rank anything, we need a criteria. Each gym split in this video is judged on 4 science-based factors: weekly volume, meaning whether you can actually hit enough high-quality sets for each muscle; training frequency, or how often each muscle gets stimulated per week; recovery, which determines whether you can progress long-term without burning out; and adherence, because the best program in the world is useless if most people can't stick to it. I'm going to list out every split and then at the end give you the best split from the list. So, first on the list, we have the most controversial split of all, the bro split. 1 muscle group per day, chest on Monday, back on Tuesday, and legs once a week, which the average person just skips anyway. The main issue here is frequency. Science consistently shows that muscle protein synthesis only stays elevated for about 24 to 48 hours after you train a muscle, which means if you're hitting chest once per week, you're leaving 4 to 5 full days of potential growth completely unused. Bro splits can definitely work, especially for very advanced lifters who can tolerate huge amounts of volume in a single session. But for most people, the frequency is simply too low. Workouts get excessively long, recovery becomes uneven across the week, and progress slows down. It's not useless, but it's just not optimal and definitely not the best choice for building muscle long term. Next on the list is the full body split, and this one actually has solid science behind it. Training each muscle group 3 times per week works extremely well for beginners and early intermediates because the frequency is high, technique improves faster, and total volume is spread evenly across sessions instead of being crammed into one day. The problem starts as you get stronger. Full body workouts slowly become too long, too fatiguing, and much harder to recover from because you're asking your entire body to perform heavy compound work multiple times per week. At that point, systemic fatigue becomes the limiting factor, which is not optimal. So while full body training is excellent early on and can produce great results, it eventually hits a ceiling limit for hypertrophy and stops being the best long-term option for most people. Next up is the upper-lower split. This setup hits each muscle group twice per week, which lines up perfectly with what hypertrophy research shows is optimal for muscle growth. It gives you a balanced training frequency, keeps session lengths manageable, and allows for solid recovery between workouts. That's why upper-lower works incredibly well for intermediate lifters, people training 4 days per week, or anyone trying to balance strength and hypertrophy at the same time. The only real downside is practicality. If you miss a session, it can throw off the entire week. But even with that limitation, upper-lower is very close to optimal and far more effective than most people realize. Last on the list is the split where most science-based lifters end up, the push-pull leg split. PPL allows you to accumulate high weekly volume, maintain solid training frequency, usually twice per week per muscle if you run it 6 days a week. Push days don't interfere with pull days, legs get their own dedicated focus, so make sure you actually hit legs. And recovery becomes predictable and structured. Research consistently shows that volume is one of the biggest factors that causes hypertrophy, and PPL makes it easy to stack quality volume without completely destroying recovery. The only bad thing about it is sustainability. For most people, training 6 days per week just isn't realistic long term. But if you can recover from it and stick to it consistently, PPL is elite. It just demands a level of commitment that not everyone can maintain. But which of these splits is actually the best? They all have their pros and cons, but the overall best gym split is ranked by weekly volume, training frequency, recovery, and tedium. Because when this split is run intelligently over 4 days per week, it gives you optimal training frequency by hitting each muscle twice per week, lets you accumulate high-quality volume without burying yourself in fatigue, and gives you flexibility if you ever miss a session without the entire week falling apart. Because recovery is manageable, you can progress for longer, train harder when it actually matters, and, most importantly, stay consistent. And consistency is the most underrated variable in muscle growth. Science doesn't reward short bursts of extreme intensity, it rewards repeatable progress over months and years. That's why the upper-lower split is the most supported split by both research and real-world results, and why it consistently outperforms the rest for most lifters. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to see more exclusive gym content.